I'm just a girl painting and sharing my journey.
So most of your work is showcased digitally, and you've got 1 million subscribers on YouTube, you've got a Patreon, you got 100,000 people following you on Instagram. How would you describe your art and the content that you post on YouTube and Instagram?
I love romance. I love the Impressionists. I love the old princess tales and things like that. Something that I've learned is that everybody has completely different path.
This is Creator, the podcast from Matador Network. I'm your host, Ross Borden, and I believe creators are the future of all global advertising. So join me as I sit down with top creators to hear about how they got started, the challenges they've overcome, and the tips you need to become a full-time creator. All right, we're back with another episode of Creator, the podcast. Today we have Jimena Agra here in the Lighthouse Studio in Los Angeles. Jimena, welcome.
Thank you so much. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, I'm happy for you to be here. And so Jimena is actually an oil painter, and you've created a massive YouTube channel, social media. You kind of walk people through your process, but you are, by trade, not a digital creator. You're an actual painter. You're an artist. Is that right?
Yes, I do mostly oil painting. And I've been doing it for, I think, like maybe full-time 5 to 6 years already.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's been fun.
And you're from Spain, is that right? Where are you from in Spain?
I'm from Valladolid. Not many people know about it. I think if you know about it, it's because of the soccer team, Real Valladolid. That's like the only thing that people know it. But it's just a lovely city in the north, kind of north area of Spain. But I've been here in the U.S. for 8 years already as well.
For 8 years. And you live here in Los Angeles?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And so what provoked the move? What made you move from Spain to L.A.?
Well, to be honest, when I was a little girl growing up, I always loved American movies. I remember watching Father of the Bride, I don't know how many times, or I don't know, just a bunch of shows. And I think I always loved the idea of America. But I was more, I guess I wanted to go to New York first. But, you know, for whatever reason, I was able to visit LA, and I kind of fell in love with people's creativity, and everybody seems so positive. Maybe with the years, I also learned that was not entirely real. But it just felt like people were very excited about just doing things, and the art scene was amazing. Not just the art scene, but anything related to art, the film industry. So yeah, it was really,
So were you already a painter at home? Like, how long have you been painting? Like when you were still living in Spain?
Mm-hmm. So the last year of high school, I changed to the, I guess it would be the art option over there in Bachillerato. And yeah, I think it was in the last year, one of my classmates, she said, "Hey, I'm just going to go to Madrid and I'm going to study fine arts. Do you want to come?" And I was like, you know what? Sure. I don't really know what I'm going to do with my life, but it sounded like a good idea. And I always love to draw, you know, classic like story. I always love to draw and things like that, but I never really touched oil painting until probably in college.
So you went with her to Madrid?
Yeah.
And then you sort of switched to focus on art all in?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
We talk on this show to lots of digital creators, obviously, but it seems like we more and more are encountering people who are artists for other things, and then the digital side of it and these social channels like Instagram and YouTube add to their career. They open doors, they open revenue options. So when did you start sort of in the creator side of the journey as an artist and publishing content on YouTube and Instagram?
I started to post my drawings on YouTube and on Instagram. I don't even know what year, but many years ago. I think I was like 18 or 19, but very poorly done. Just like, you know, my little sketches or whatever, or copies of other artists or things like that. And slowly, when I was living in Madrid, I was filming also a little bit of my, like, what it was going to class and my sketches at home. but very, very, what's the word? Like, not very well done again. And then with
Not
time,
professionally
not
produced
professionally.
content.
Oh
You're
my
just
gosh.
you're just
No, no,
posting
no.
whatever. Yeah.
And then at that time, I was also really into makeup, and I think a lot of people was. This was like the beauty era of YouTube, and there was a makeup contest that I joined, and it was like cosplay as well. It was by the brand NYX. Maybe you've heard of it.
Okay.
Maybe not. Okay,
No.
no, it's fine.
Is it a makeup beauty brand?
NYX.
Okay.
It's
I'm
pretty
probably
big.
like the worst person to ask,
No,
but
it's
yeah.
fine. But it was. It has obviously similarities because of the color and the creativity and things like that. But I started to do more cosplay stuff and makeup stuff on YouTube, and then years later, I kind of had like a little bit of a quarter life crisis, and think, well, what do I want? What do I really, really want? What am I passionate about? And obviously, it's always been art. But the thing is that I had so much fear of giving my everything to this, because what if you fail? What the hell do you do with your life?
Right.
It's scary. But I really believe that if you have the passion and if you really love it, even if you're not at the level that you want just yet, it's always a great way to live your life.
Well, and that
So
self-doubt, I think, is especially big with YouTube because some people I know have, a 1 or 2 year success and they're off to the races with YouTube. But
yeah,
more than those people is a bigger group of people that hammer away for 10 years, 12 years, and then they
right.
hit 100,000, 200,000, a million, and then they have, the life that they want. But
Yeah.
man, it can take a long time. So given how young you are, I feel like yours
Well,
was more of the overnight success, but maybe you had a foundation on the cosplay sort of makeup side, and
yes.
then you transitioned successfully to art, to
Yeah.
like oil painting.
Yeah, I think I have mixed feelings about it, because I think a lot of my following, it was through the makeup and through those videos. And when I told you that I had that little crisis, I started to delete a lot of old videos, and it was I'm trying to think. I think it was a mixture between I want to be taken, seriously as an artist, and also feeling a lot of cringe and shame for the other videos and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But that I'm a little bit older. I'm almost 30 in like a month, and I feel way more. I accept a lot of that is the path that led to me, and I feel nothing but gratitude about it.
Yeah.
Unlike before, that I was like, oof, please, no, I don't want to watch this.
Yeah, but now you're doing exactly what you want and something you're truly passionate
Yes,
about.
yes. Now it's wonderful.
So most of your work is showcased digitally, and you've got 1 million subscribers on YouTube, you've got a Patreon, you got 100,000 people following you on Instagram. What about that like old school route of galleries? Does some of your work make it into galleries, or do you even care about that?
In recent years, I started to touch on that path a little bit, but I was too scared, and I think my work wasn't. Perhaps the quality wasn't there, and the body of work wasn't as cohesive for a gallery. But very slowly, I started to join contests and things like that, and now I have one painting that is called Persephone in the Garden, and it's going to be in Modern Eden, which is in San Francisco.
Congrats,
Which
that's exciting.
thank you. It is very exciting. I'm thrilled. I was actually telling my patrons recently that just basically like how I got to the gallery, because my path was for years. I never was in a gallery. I never even attempted it, and I got rejected many times for many different reasons. And I wanted to tell them, this is what I've done, and this is how I got here. So it's just basically being, subscribed to their newsletter, and paying attention to the open calls, and yeah, that's just
And
how.
determination, keep
And
going.
keep going. Yeah, for sure.
Awesome, congrats.
Thank you.
So for those who don't follow you and haven't seen your content, like how would you describe your art and the content that you post on YouTube and Instagram?
I love romance. I love the Impressionists. I love the old princess tales and things like that. Hence why that painting that I
Yeah, by
brought
the way, I
today.
should have pointed out we got your work here in the studio.
Yeah. I wish I could have brought more, but I don't have that many in stock right now. But yeah, just stories, films, situations from life, my own experiences, everything, all of that inspires me. And I'm just a girl painting and sharing my journey, and also trying to be as transparent as I can, but also, keeping my private life private. But I think it's really nice to share, everything, the ups and downs, and to connect with other people, because I remember like some years ago, I didn't see that many artists sharing how they got there. I would just see them already in galleries, already selling their work. But
Right.
how do they get there? And something that I've learned is that everybody has completely a different path. And it depends so much of your situation, where you're from, where do you live, what you studied, your resources, your economical situation, your parents, if you have children or not, all of those things. So the more that I talk to other artists, the more I realize this, and it's weirdly comforting, I guess, just that everybody has a different path, and that's totally fine if mine was first through YouTube and now I'm here, because what matters is that I'm here and I love what I'm doing and I'm very happy about it.
Well, in addition to knowing the path that someone took in their career, I think on a case by case, painting by painting basis, it's really interesting to see the process,
Yeah.
right? And like you were saying, 10 years ago, you just see the finished product in a gallery or a photo or whatever exhibition. But I think a lot of people, even if they're not an aspiring painter, they probably are super interested. And maybe especially if they are an aspiring painter like you were, that's really interesting to see the whole process. So what is your creative process when you paint a piece like this?
I think each piece is different on its own, because a lot of times I do have like a clear image of what I wanted to paint. And sometimes I do know exactly what I'm going to paint. I'm going to paint a couple, a maiden and her lovely knight, or a hamadryad, which is a woman that turns into a tree. And I do like little thumbnails or little sketches, and then I do tons of research. I have like Pinterest boards and inspiration, and what do I want to focus on that piece. And then, of course, you have to gather some reference images. Most of the time is, well, a lot of the times actually, I did like a bunch of Frankenstein Photoshop collages to get what I want. And now I've been taking my own photos and hiring models, and that it's a lovely and wonderful part of the process, of course. But every piece is different. And many times I start one thing and it doesn't turn the way that I want, so I just paint on top of it. So many of the paintings, I'm sure
Have
you can
other
do.
paintings
Yes,
underneath?
yes, absolutely.
That's pretty
Many of
cool.
them, yeah. So yeah, I guess it just depends.
And are you, when you're finding references, are these like historical other paintings or old, I mean, photographs, although most of your stuff looks pre-photograph, or is it more like fantastical or like, like fairy tales, I guess. I don't know if that's the right word.
Oh, you
but-
can. I mean, I could probably turn you into a, I don't know, a warrior or something if you wanted to. But there are many resources on gathering reference photos, and I think this is something that people struggle a lot because, for example, I've lived away from my family for a while, so I didn't have, hey mom, can I use you for my painting or whatever, even though I do have friends here and my partner. But there are many sites that offer references for artists and they sell them. For example, Howard Lyon, he's also an amazing artist, and I bought so many of his reference packs, and it's just incredibly helpful because you can really change whatever you want, the background, and make it your own. And like I said before, now I've started to really take my own. I used to use myself a lot, but to be honest, I don't want to paint myself because no, it's just not very interesting, and I see my face every day, so it's better to paint other people. But it's just easy.
You mentioned earlier this is one of the only ones you have like in stock or around your house. Are you constantly selling different paintings or?
I have kept like a few of my favorite ones. and sometimes you feel a little bit more attached to some paintings.
Sure.
But I do the paintings that I do try to sell them, because, well, we're just we gotta make a living somehow. And yeah, so
And
I
what's
do
the
sell them.
path for that? Is it people who follow you on YouTube request it, or are you doing the traditional route of like putting them in galleries and then they sell from there?
I mean, I think the first time that I sold anything original was maybe 10, 11 years ago. It was just a drawing. And 5 years ago, I think I did my website and I started to sell prints. And that was I guess, the best way for me to start selling my work. And people seem to really like them. I remember there was one print called Girl with Rose. And that video, I don't know how many views it got, like, I don't know if it got 1 million. Maybe I'm wrong. But it
But a
got
lot.
a
Got
lot
a
of
lot of
views.
views.
Yeah. And people seem to really like the print. So I put that for sale. And with time, and I put a lot of effort and money into learning more, because I feel like I lacked a lot of technical skills. But with time, I learned more, and I just started to slowly release originals. And just, with time, people seem to like them, and I also take commission work, which I really enjoy as well, and I think it's very precious and unique.
So tell me what that's like. If you've made something and then you have prints of it or you sell the original, pretty straightforward. But
Yeah.
when someone reaches out to you and they say, I want to commission you to paint something for me, what is that conversation like? Are they really prescriptive in what they want? Or are they like, just do something amazing, surprise me? Like, how does that usually work?
Some people, they know what they want, of course, and some people, they're just a little bit more. They give me more freedom, but most of the time is someone in their family or their daughter, or they're gonna get married, so they want a painting of the husband and wife, or of their
So
babies.
they send you like a reference photograph
Yes.
or
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like
Most of the
that.
time they do send me the photos. Some people, they give me a little bit more freedom. They say, hey, this is a photo of me and I want, I don't know, flowers around me, and I want to be like in a garden, and I'm like, sure, we'll figure it out.
I've seen you do a lot of sponsored, like brand driven videos on YouTube. Where, if you're going to separate out the revenue that's enabled you to be a full time painter, is most of it coming from selling your work or most of it coming from brand deals? Are brands like a significant portion of your creator revenue, or is it like tiny compared to all the paintings and prints that you sell?
Well, some years ago, I would say, I think pre-COVID, because I was more on YouTube and I was doing that, yeah, just more. The brand deals helped me a ton because I wasn't selling that many originals at the time. So I would say back then, definitely sponsorships was huge. Sponsorships plus the demos that I do on Patreon, plus the prints, everything made like a nice cushion, I would say. But with time, I kind of wanted to, not intentionally drift away from that, but I just really wanted to focus on my paintings. So now it has changed. I don't get that many sponsorships, and I kind of want to take a step back from those and focus on this, even though, very honestly speaking, it pays way less. But
Really, the commission work?
because I
Or
think
it just
some
takes
years ago,
longer? I guess
just takes
it doesn't
longer.
scale as much as brand
Yes.
deals.
And I think like some years ago, the company, there were less people on YouTube, definitely. So they were just paying more. And maybe now I'm just, I'm an old YouTuber or something. But yeah, but I'm happy with, with how I'm doing things. So.
And what about Patreon? We talk to a lot of creators who are having a ton of success, like building reliable income from Patreon. So what do you do on Patreon to deliver value?
So on Patreon, I do monthly demonstration, which are just, little demos of portraits or still life or landscape. And I just explain my process. Sometimes I vary them. Sometimes I do a little voiceover, or sometimes I tell them this is how I scan my paintings for prints, or this is how I get inspiration, or this is how I'm going to approach this painting. But yeah, just like behind the scenes, basically what I'm working on every month. And I love Patreon. It's a really cool way to connect with people that either truly admire your work and want to learn from you, or they want to support you. And it's a very nice community.
Do you think most of them are aspiring painters and artists themselves?
I think so, yeah. I think so because the things that they ask me, they're obviously interested and they're trying themselves. And now that I'm offering them a reference that they can choose, and then I see what they have painted with the pictures. So I do think that they want to be artists, and well, they are already artists, but established artists.
Yeah, they want to get better. Cool. What about travel? How does travel inspire you, or does it inspire you? I saw you're doing a group trip, I think. I'd love to hear about that.
Yeah, oh my gosh, traveling and painting is absolutely amazing. It's honestly a dream. Last year, we did like a painting retreat or a painting trip. We started in Rome and then we went to Tuscany, and it was wonderful. We were 14 in total.
This is a trip you organized, or you just came on the trip, or what?
So we did it with this agency called Trova Trip. So they basically organized trips. I think it's mostly targeted to more like influencer-ish people. But I made it clear that I wanted to make this a painting trip, that every day we would have painting time, that we would have demos, and that would be the main core of the trip. And it was fantastic. The group bonded so much. We still have a group chat, and we share like constant recipes and pasta recipes, and we try to do some like a monthly Zoom catch up. And we did it, I think, like for the first 6 to 7 months, and then in the last few months I was just a little bit very busy, but yeah, we just became
that
very
does
close
sound
friends.
like a very tightly knit crew. So were you were leading, you were like the instructor, the professor on the trip, painting and everyone? Okay. And then the one I saw, is that a new trip that you're doing to France?
Yes, and this one is with Uptrek, and Uptrek is a different company, and they focus more, they do just painting workshops. That's all they do.
Okay.
So they have more experience, and I think they make things easier, so they just know what they have to work with. And we're doing one in the south of France. So I'm very excited because it's going to be in a chateau, and I feel like this time I was able to really make my dream workshop. Like, why would I want me as a student? And we're gonna have models, and we're gonna do.
Wow. This is
have
like
some
painter's
sorts.
dream. Chateau in the south of
Absolutely.
France with.
Oh my gosh, incredible!
Amazing.
Yeah.
What about your advice to other painters? If someone's like feels like they have what it takes to be a painter, but they're not sharing their work online, would you advise them? Because like I know a handful of successful artists who've made it their full career. It's really hard to do.
Yeah.
Obviously it's helped you having these like digital channels to share your work, to generate revenue.
Yeah.
Do you think that's like a path that every artist, every painter, for example, should consider?
Not necessarily. I see so many people taking the classic route, which is galleries or in their own community. So I guess it just has to resonate with you. But also the cool thing about having YouTube or an Instagram, well, I think everybody has Instagram now. But the cool thing is that you can just make it whichever way works for you. You don't have to do, trendy videos. You can just post your artwork in whichever way that you enjoy. I obviously think that nowadays it's very important to have an online presence. But I've met so many super talented and successful artists that they don't have a huge following. Like, it's actually insane that many people that I admire have way less following than I do. It's insane, but that's how it is. But it works for them. They just have maybe the connections with the galleries or the connections with the clients directly, or they just teach at their local school, things like that. So there are definitely different ways. You don't have to follow one path.
Jimena, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so
Congrats
much.
on everything. Congrats
Thank you.
on the artist career.
Thank you.
For those who don't follow you, how can people find you online?
Oh, just my Instagram, which is Jime Paints with an H.
Okay, Jime Paints.
Hime means princess in Japanese. Okay. And it's like Jime.
And YouTube, same name, same handle?
Jimena Agra.
Okay.
Yep.
Great. Jimena, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much.
Creator, the podcast, is produced by Matador Network. We are a leading global travel publisher focused on travel and adventure. If you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe. Every week, I interview a new top creator. New episodes are released every Tuesday on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere podcasts are found. Thanks for listening.